Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Sunday afternoon chat on a cold but really beautiful, absolutely gorgeous Sunday afternoon here in southern Oklahoma. Had a little bit of rain last night, maybe 2/10, maybe 3/10. We'd take it all, take any we can get right now. So we feel really blessed with that. It's been a fantastic week here at the Eagle. I'm telling you, just absolutely fantastic. We just couldn't have been blessed anymore. Thanksgiving week, you know, we are blessed every single day of our lives. Like the old man John says on our, when he comments, he said, you wake up and you smell the coffee and you open your eyes and God's given you another day. And so you're blessed every day, but we have particularly been blessed this week because we've had family here pretty much all week. Really all week until today. Actually, Jack and Sherry just left a few minutes ago while we were a little bit late this afternoon. But we had kids here, both our kids, Jamie and Sherry, and their spouses. We had grandkids here. We had great-grandkids here. We just absolutely had a great time. Amy come in from Tennessee, and so we just really had a fantastic time. It just, you can't really ask for any more blessings than that. We actually had two, not one, but two Thanksgiving dinner. I told you all last week to be sure to set your scales back 10 pounds. I had to add another 5 to that, so I had to set mine back 15 because I have absolutely stuffed myself. I decided I was going to diet this next week. I told Chris I was going to diet, and she said, "Fantastic, what color?" And But I've made a decision that we have Christmas coming up. I'll be going down to Jim Bob's and Jackie's here pretty quickly between Christmas and New Year's. I decided to wait till after that trip. Then I'll be going up to Dennis Hamel's probably the first week in January for the doe season up there for 3 or 4 days with Dennis and Kathy. So I might have to wait till the second week of January to start that diet, but I got to lose a few pounds, probably about 15. That's the same. I had to roll my scales back. Looked pretty good to roll those scales back 15. Got on there and I said, "Wow, Jimmy, you're very svelte. I mean, that's really nice." But anyway, it is what it is. This is the time of the year that we celebrate by simply eating a lot. We tell God how thankful we are by eating a lot of the food that God's given us. But we had a great week. We did a lot of hunting this week, and we had kids and grandkids hunting, and everybody was successful. Lightning, my great-grandson, started out, and I hunted with him every day, and we turned down quite a few deer, but he finally killed him a really nice 14-point. Came by, had stuff all over, and I said, "You want that one?" He said, "Oh, yeah, I do." So I let him take that deer, and so he had a great time hunting. We saw turkey, pig, deer. We had a great time. Jordan had a bow kill this week on a nice 10-point, so she had a great week also. And finally, Jack finally got to hunt for the first time ever in his life. You know, he's a cardiologist, and he really hadn't hunted. And he got to hunt, and he killed him a wild pig. That's right, a nice wild pig. We cut the back straps out of that and had wild pig fried steak. I almost said chicken fried steak, but pig fried steak. And it was really good. We cut the back straps out of that hog, and which really you can cut the back straps out of about any wild hog, and it's awfully good. You might not want to eat the rest of it, but you can butcher a wild hog, and they're fantastic. They really are. Then Jack, yesterday evening, finally they had passed up quite a few deer. Sherry actually missed a deer this week. I've got to tell her on that because Jack killed what we consider a cull buck here. Had like 4 on one side and 2 on the other, so it was a cull buck, and it was a nice deer, but he just didn't have a whole lot of horns. It was one actually that Jordan had missed with her bow, and she got on to Sherry for sharing that on Facebook. So I'll not tell you that Jordan missed that deer with her bow, but they wasn't the same stand, totally different stand. But Jack did get that deer, and then Sherry killed her a awfully nice 10-point yesterday evening. So they're not hunting this evening. They just left, and they're on their way back over to Lake Ten Killer. So finally, after about 10 days, Chris and I are here, and that we don't have 2 labs or 3 labs or 4 labs, and we don't have a bunch of kids and grandkids running around. The house will breathe a sigh of relief, and but it's just been fantastic. We love it. We absolutely love it. I wanted to mention something else happened this week that was pretty spectacular. Our Catch of the Day channel on YouTube went over 10,000. We started that channel in April. And and we started, when we kicked it off, we announced we was going to start it. We kicked that channel off. Probably had about 15 or 1,800 of y'all come over here from our Jimmy Houston Outdoors channel and jump on that really the first day in April. But since then, we've added about another 8,000 plus, and it's 10,000. And we've had so many comments on there, and I mentioned on here that I think this is the most important channel on YouTube, and it will change people's lives. And I've got so many great comments from people where it has done just that. It's made their relationship with God better. It's made their relationship with their spouse, their kids, their family, their employees, their friends, made their relationship with life better. And that's what God promises. That's what Jesus is all about, making your life where you can live it more abundantly right here on the earth, and then giving you eternal life and an eternal home in heaven. Not a home, a mansion in heaven. A mansion, that's right, a mansion. But you know, it's hit 10,000, and that's in 8 months. That's April to the end of this month is 8 months, so that's pretty good, we think. It's not fantastic. It's not a great, big, giant YouTube channel. About 3,500 people a day watch the videos. Another 10 to 15 to 18,000 a day watch on YouTube. On Facebook. We've got about 520,000 friends on Facebook, and we have about 10 to 15, 18,000 a day that are watching the video on Facebook. Another 25 to 40,000 a day that actually read the catch of the day. I am writing another daily devotional. Y'all know that. I've been keeping you updated as we've gone on for the last 3 or 4 months. 267 days written. That's right, 267 days. I think I have to have it done by the 1st of February or the end of February. I don't know. Hopefully we'll have this thing available by the end of October next year. It'll be available just about everywhere. I have personally gone ahead and pre-ordered myself 10,000 books, mainly just for y'all. So we'll have those books, be able to personalize them and autograph them. When we'll have that book, we'll probably start taking orders on that and be able to personalize and autograph that as gifts. It'll be a great thing for next year, for Christmas time. Probably have it a couple, 2 or 3 months before Christmas, we hope. We're shooting for October. That's the goal. I don't know if it'll turn out that way or not, but anyway, it's been a really a tremendous amount of time and effort goes into that. It takes an enormous amount of time to be able to write a devotional book, and I pray to God constantly about that, about giving me the words to say that will be helpful to people as they listen to this on our Catch of the Day channel and as they read it. As we move into the last of the year, I don't know if December is a big month for gaining people on YouTube or not. We've been almost 2 years with this YouTube channel since we've been trying to grow it. Jimmy Houston Outdoors, 8 months and we got 82,000, I think, on Jimmy Houston Outdoors. I don't know if December is a big month for adding people to YouTube or not, but I'm telling you, if each one of you out there on our channel, if each one of you out there, we have about 50,000. We have about 50,000 watch the deer every Friday. Chris's deer video. She does that. I sometimes shoot a little video, but that's her video right there, and it's the most popular video that we have. We had one that had over 9 million views on Facebook when the triplets were born, and come May and June, we might have some more babies coming. I sure hope so. And even little Jenny, you know, even though she's only about 6 or 7 months old, she's a pretty good sized deer. She's as big as Lucy, and she may even have a baby. It'll probably just be one. Lucy could have trips again. Probably will at least have dubs, and so hopefully we'll be able to find them in the woods and document that also. But I was thinking if y'all can just share with 2 or 3 or 4 of your friends out there and ask them to subscribe to Jimmy Houston Outdoors YouTube or subscribe to the Catch of the Day channel or both, we could grow this thing pretty rapidly. I mean, it would add a lot right here at the end of the year, and we start off 2021, which is going to be a fantastic year. Can I tell you, 2021 is going to be great. Everybody talks about 2020 as being a crazy year, and it has been. And everybody wants to leave it behind. I can look forward and tell you so many good things that happened in 2020. A lot of bad things, there's no doubt about that, but a lot of great things happened also. But we can start out 2021 with a real good number and try to really build on that. I wanted to, again, I should have carried it down here to the pier with me, but I want to give a great big shout out and a thanks to Lisa Wordle. She made us the most beautiful pillow. If you have looked at and seen the Friday evening deer video, and if you haven't, you need to look at that. It's pretty cool. But you saw that pillow, and she just built us a beautiful pillow. Sent 3 boxes of Cheerios for the deer, and but she built a beautiful pillow. She handmade it herself. It's got all the deer on there. Got their little collars, the different sizes, just exactly like they are. Ranger and Nina and Forrest and Jenny and Lucy, and even has a little cross on there, and Milburn, a little cross on there for Indy, who the little deer we died. We don't really know why or how. He looked perfectly healthy. Just probably something was wrong internally with him, and he just didn't make it. He looked perfectly healthy. Was only about 100 yards from the house. Those of you asking about Milburn, we have a lot of people asking about Milburn, a lot of people asking about Apache. But thank you, Lisa Wordle. Thank you so much, Lisa. That was so very sweet of you. Asking about Milburn, we have not seen him in over 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks Friday since we've seen him, and we're hoping that he's okay. I believe he probably is. He just got out there and found the girls, and that's what he's doing. Chris thinks she got a glimpse of him a few days ago. She saw a deer that looked just about like him, had about the same horns, and she thought she caught a little glimpse of orange. We took his ribbon off because we didn't want another deer getting their horns caught in there while they're sparring and fighting like the deer do. We've got some video of deer sparring and fighting. We've been taking a little bit of Lucy's early love life. Lucy's early love life for this year's rut. She's not really got too involved in the rut yet, we don't think, unless she slipped out at night while we didn't know it. And but there's a few bucks coming around. One really big, nice limping buck, but there's a few bucks coming around. So she didn't breed last year till December, and so we're just now getting into December here in another day or two. But we'll try to document a little bit of that because it's real cool when the bucks come around and how unafraid they become and how bold and courageous they become when they're in love. Some people would say stupid. That's what my dad called me anyway. That's what Dad said the way I was acting. He said, "Son, you're acting plumb stupid." And he's right, I was. I still do. Hey, I still do. But anyway, so we're hoping that we find Milburn and he's around somewhere. The rest of you have been asking about Apache. Apache, who works here on the ranch, just absolutely a fantastic hired hand, the best guy we've had working here on the ranch. Lives here on the ranch with his wife and kids, and he has had the virus for a little over 3 weeks now, but he is much better, much better. He had kind of a rough go of it. He never did have any trouble breathing, which was good. He was just simply sick, dizzy, headaches, lots of all the symptoms that you had, coughing and all that stuff. He had just about every symptom you could have except the breathing problem, and as long as you can stay away from the breathing problem, it's pretty good. We're having in Oklahoma right now about 3,500 new cases a day of COVID. They are testing lots and lots of people. It's still a very dangerous disease. They are curing a much higher percentage all the time. I've had many friends that has had COVID. 3 or 4 different people that have been here to the ranch visiting us, and then within 2 or 3 weeks they've had COVID. They've always been right outside the deal where they had it after they left. They caught it right after they left here. They never was ever here when they had it. So we've been very fortunate and blessed. We've been to church every Sunday and had a great church service at Midway Hills Baptist Church today. And we've just been blessed that God's kept the COVID away from us. That's all I can say. We are going on another big hunting trip here pretty quickly. I just got back from Mexico. We're going to Texas on a DDD. That's right, a DDD. Dove, duck, and deer. We're going to do a little bit of both. Going to hunt a couple, 2 or 3 ranches, and then hunt down around Rockport, Texas, not Rockwall, Rockport, Texas, and hunt down around Allen, Texas. So we've got some really good friends down in that area. My buddy Norm Charlton, who pitched for the Cincinnati Reds. We're going to go down and do a little duck and dove hunting with him. And my buddy Shane Greenville, going to go hunt his new place down there. His old place is one of the most fantastic places to deer hunt. I killed one of the biggest deer I've ever killed down there, 180 some score, 190 some score. It was really a big one with a bow. And but he sold that ranch, and so we're going to hunt another one of his ranches that he really hadn't had a chance to manage a whole lot yet. So really, we're hoping that that ranch is. We're hoping we can get a deer there. Really, basically, almost any size. He said it's like a jungle, and he doesn't know what we can do there. But we're going to hunt the Gilbert Ranch down there also. So we're really looking forward to that, and hunting with Norm and a new place down there around Rock Park that does duck hunting, and a lot of ducks end up down there. We're hoping they're getting down there right now. They're moving in right now. They get there a little bit late. We hope we're not too early. They got just about every kind of duck you can imagine that gets down there in that area. It's really a special place to duck hunt, and we're hoping that there's a lot of doves there also. I will be going down between Christmas and New Year's also. to visit my buddy Jim Bob Basham and Jackie. We go down there every year between Christmas and New Year's, and we, I occasionally take a deer down there, but I'm mostly taking the kids down and grandkids and letting them have fun hunting at Jim Bob's, because they're just special friends that we've had for a lot of years. I mean, a lot of years. We had a great trip. I guess I've got to talk to you a little bit about Mexico. Down in Mexico, we had a fantastic trip down there. Caught a lot of bass, a lot of big bass. We've had a little bit of that on the YouTube channel. We probably have a little bit more coming up here real soon. I am going to try this coming week. We still have a week left of gun season here in Oklahoma. I want to do my best to go out this week and get in a blind and maybe hunt 3 blinds, 3 Texas Hunter Wrangler blinds, and just show you what a day in the woods with me is like hunting out of those blinds. Now, I hunt in tree stands, ladder stands, climb up stands, all kinds of things, a lot also, but I want to show you some hunting in that blind, because it's such a cool thing to hunt out of one of those great stands. They're just like the greatest stands and greatest blinds that's ever been built, a Texas Hunter Wrangler, and I'm gonna try to hunt 3 places, hopefully show you several deer. As a matter of fact, I've been seeing a lot of deer. I was the only one that didn't really take a deer this week, and I passed up probably 18 or 20 different bucks. Some bucks I might have seen again the same time, but I know I passed up at least 18 or 20 bucks. Lightning and I, the day that he had taken his, saw eight buck deer that morning. 8 buck deer, some before and some after he took his deer. But we stayed in the stand and kept hunting for a couple, 2 or 3 hours after he had taken that deer, and we saw a lot of deer. We've seen a lot of rutting activity going on, seen some fights, seen some breeding, and it's just been great, and I haven't videoed any of that. Pat is too busy with production. We have the new television shows coming out the last weekend of December on the Discovery Channel, CBS Sports, WFN, the Pursuit Network, the Hunt Channel, Walk TV, Heartland Network, several others. I missed a few in there, but I think I got most of them in there. AT&T Sports Southwest, and I'll try to get a list of those and let you know here before the new season starts. But we got the new Jimmy Houston Outdoor season number 44. That's right, 44 years on national television, and that season will start. Pat is too busy trying to get all of those shows sent to the networks. We don't have to send an entire 26-week series in, but he's got to get some of them in for these new things starting. It's tremendously busy, so he's not going to be able to come down and spend the day with me. So I am not a camera person. I do not know how to shoot video. I do not know how to do that. So I'm going to take a little camera that's a piece of junk that I bought to do that with, that you can't hook a microphone up to, just nat sound, that's all it's got. I am going to take my iPhone and use it also and try to let you see a hunt from 3 different deer stands. Might hunt one till along about noon or so, get hit another one till 11 to 2 or 12 to 2, something like that, and go hunt another one from then till dark. 3 different stands, 3 different locations. They're all beautiful, great locations. I love them. One of them is my favorite. We'll probably just hunt it in the middle of the day. It's not my favorite because you see a lot of deer, because you don't see many deer there. But it's a favorite just because of the view you have, the location, and where we put that stand. I've wanted a big, nice stand there for years, and now I finally got one. And I hunted there one day and never saw a single deer. Never saw a single deer. And so I told Jamie, and he said, Dad, why do we go to all the effort of putting that stand in an impossible place to put that stand? But that's what we did. That's what we did. I want to end this right here and just talk about a little bit about what our preacher's wife actually talked about this morning at church. Now, I talk about sometimes what our preacher preached about, but I want to talk about what our preacher's wife talked about in her little segment she does for the church, and she does a marvelous job. But she talked about the story about Joseph. Some of y'all learned in Sunday school and back when you was a kid about the coat of many colors, that Joseph's father and mother made him a coat of many colors. And Joseph, I'm not going to go through the whole story, but Joseph is a great story. I love this story. One of the children of Israel, one of the 12 sons of Jacob, who are the patriarchs of the entire country of Israel, as a matter of fact. But when he was 17 years old, he had a dream, and his brothers and his mother and his father both were. They were very disturbed by this dream. His brothers began to have a lot of animosity toward him, and they actually sold him into slavery when he was 17 years old. 17 years old. And and a lot of things happen, and you know, you might ought to go read that story about Joseph. It's a tremendous story, but I think it's clear back in Genesis. I think it's in the first book of the Bible. But 17 years old, his brothers, flesh and blood, sold him into slavery for 20 pieces of silver. You know, Jesus was betrayed for 30 pieces of silver. Sold him into slavery. He went through a series of bad events, things happening to him in his life, and he finally, at age 30, got out of prison. He was accused of a sex crime he didn't commit, and he finally, at age 30, got out of prison and became actually the ruler of the entire country of Egypt. He wasn't the king, but he was the next in command to the king, and he was the most important man in the entire country of Egypt. And I say all of this, and like I said, you read the story, it's a remarkable story in the Bible, but I say this because through it all, through that, from being a teenager till a 30-year-old man and having all these bad things happen in life, the dream that God had given him as a teenager was finally fulfilled when he was 30 years old. And the reason I bring that up is God's got a dream for all of us. He's got a dream for you. He's got a dream for me. And in this crazy year where so many bad things have happened to so many people have lost friends. I lost a cousin just last week to this virus. I've lost a couple other close friends. I've had many friends recover and are just fine. But this has been a bad year. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people have lost their businesses, their entire business. And it's just been a crazy year. But can I tell you, if you belong to God like Joseph did, God's got a plan for your life. He's got a dream. He may have put it in your heart. You may not know what that dream is. You may not know what that destiny is. You may have bad things going on in your life right now. You may have just tested positive for COVID. And I know several of you have, because you've told me that in your comments. And but God's got a plan. God's got control. God's got a plan for your life. He's got a plan for my life. He's got a plan for all his children's life. And that plan may not come to fruition next week or next month or next year. I'm not saying it's going to take 13 years like it did Joseph. I'm not going to saying that you're going to become second in command in the United States of America, or in Australia, or in South Africa, or in Germany, or Denmark, wherever some of y'all live. And I've got comments from all over the world, England, all over the world. I'm not saying you're going to take 13 years for your dream to come true, your destiny to be fulfilled. And I'm not saying that you might become second in command or first in command in the country you live in. But then again, you might. You just might. You just might. Absolutely, you just might. So, but I'm just saying that God is in control. The things that's happening in your life that seem bad, think about Joseph. Think about Job. Job was very wealthy. Joseph was just a teenager when the bad stuff started happening to him. He was sold into slavery. Job was the wealthiest, most righteous man in the world. He lost everything he had. And yet God paid him back double for what he lost. God's plan was greater in the end than what had happened in the beginning of his troubles and his involvement with Satan trying to destroy his life. Actually, Satan wasn't really trying to destroy Job. Satan was just trying to destroy his relationship with God. And what I'm saying is, don't let the troubles you're having destroy your relationship with God. Let it build that. Don't run from him, run to him. Let that relationship build and grow, because God's got a plan. He's got a plan for you. He's got a plan for me. And honestly, I can't wait to see what God's going to do next. I just can't wait to see what God's going to do next. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one. Have you a great week. Fantastic week. And remember, I love you.